Hi, my name is Ryan Ganser, and for today I will be speaking on Ascribe's newest release of our interactive text analytics solution, CX Inspector. Ascribe, we were founded in 1999. We've always been specifically focused on making qualitative analysis easier by analyzing open-ended responses. And today I'm going to talk about our newest release of CX Inspector, and I'll start off by sharing a couple of slides and then I'll jump into a high-level overview of the software and show how our clients use us. Afterwards, it's my goal to schedule a more in-depth demo, but using some of your own data. So many people I speak with, they have large data sets from surveys, but they don't have an efficient way of analyzing the open ends. They'll either use Excel or Microsoft Word, in which they'll just manually kind of read all the verbatim and hope to gain general themes and trends. Or they'll just do nothing at all and strictly focus on analyzing the closed-ended variables. And CX Inspector was created specifically for this use case, to analyze open ends quickly, but also accurately. So this slide summarizes some of the key features of CX Inspector that our clients find the most value in. So it's an extremely interactive and dynamic dashboard with the ability to apply both sentiment and topic analysis. It does have full automation capabilities with the ability to manually intervene as well. You can load extremely large data sets all at once and translate over 100 different languages into English, and you can export and share the data through a variety of formats very easily. And if you can see here, this small picture here, it shows our X score. And what our X score is it's a patented score that takes our sentiment scale and goes a little bit deeper. So it'll capture not only average sentiment, but also frequency of mention to immediately identify areas of focus. And we'll show you how that comes into play once we jump into the actual interface. And lastly, before we jump into the actual demonstration, I do want to mention that we offer unlimited training and support to customize the platform in several ways to make the most sense for your data. And that will include a customizable dashboard, rule sets, custom groupings, as well as creating crosstabs. So here we are in the Ascribe CX Inspector interface. And before we perform some analysis, I want to give some context on the file we're working with, as well as kind of the different visuals so you know what we're looking at. So this file was an MPS style survey in an Excel format, and it was of a gym membership or a fitness club. And the open-ended question being asked here was, what was your last experience like at our club? The system does have the ability to analyze multiple open ends at once. For simplicity's sake, this demo only has one open end. Up here at the very top, we have the name of our file. So the file analyzed 1,665 open-ended responses, and of those, 1,293 had some form of sentiment. We have 5 different visuals here, all of which can be customized. These are some of the more common ones. The first being our groups and topics visual. These are all of the groups and topics that the system automatically came up with using the natural language processing. I have it set up to show overall count, percentage, average sentiment. So we're using a 5-point sentiment scale going from -2 to +2. And then also our X score, which as I previously mentioned is a more robust sentiment scale. So going from -100 to +100 and also taking into account frequency of mention. Just to the right, we have our verbatim. So all of our responses with the sentiment color coding. To the right of that, we have our sentiment heat chart or pie chart. And as we said, going from -2 to +2, whenever you see a dark red, that's going to indicate strong negative sentiment or a -2 score. Dark green is strong positive or a +2. Light green, +1 or slightly positive. Light red, -1 or slightly negative. Here we have our expressions, or the adjectives most often used to describe our groups and topics. And lastly, we have our TEE hierarchy chart. TEE stands for Topic Expression Extract. I'll get into this in a little bit more detail, but with this chart, you'll get all your topics. I have it set up to show my top 5 expressions used, and then also the top 5 extracts used. And extracts are just a combination of topic and expression to give a little bit more context. So going back to our groups and topics visual here, something that would jump out to me is our lockers group due to this negative 42 X score. So if we wanted to see what are people saying about our locker group, we just click into it. And up here at the top, whenever there's a filter applied, the filters will always be shown highlighted up there at the top. So we have our locker filter applied, and all of the other visuals will now react to that filter being applied. So we have our 87 responses that mention the locker, and we have our sentiment breakdown. So 37 times the locker was mentioned strongly negative, 46 times it was mentioned slightly negative, and just 2 times it was mentioned a strongly positive light. And we also have our expressions, again, most often used to describe, in this case, the locker group. People are saying they're dirty, they're broken. And our TE hierarchy, so we have locker as our topic. We have the top expressions, again, dirty and broken. And for some additional context, we have the extracts. The lockers are dirty and broken. The locker room is very dirty. And if we wanted to filter in on the data even further, we can do so by clicking. So just like that, up here at the top, our responses visual now is only including the 32 responses in which the locker was being mentioned as dirty or broken. Clearing out filters, you can do that a couple of different ways. Up here at the very top, you can clear them out individually by clicking this X. Or if you wanted to clear all of your filters out at once, you can do so with that clear filters icon in the top right. Another way our clients will navigate this dashboard is with this sentiment heat map up here in the top right. So pretty often people are looking to immediately identify what is being said negatively about, whether it be their product or their service. And they'll be able to do so just by clicking within these red triangles. Now the entire dashboard is reflected by this -2 and -1 sentiment score. And if we wanted to see, okay, what are people saying negatively about the shower, for example, we just click shower. So going back to our groups and topics, again, this is what the machine instantly came up with using the natural language processing. The majority of our clients, they will alter with these groups and topics, to make more sense with their data set. And they'll do so by navigating up here to the top, this group topics icon. So what we have here on the left-hand side, these are all of our ungrouped topics. And on the right-hand side, these are all of our groups that are reflected on the main dashboard within that groups and topics visual. But as I said, you're not locked into these groups. There's a ton of efficient ways in which you can create custom groupings. So using this data as an example, maybe you think machine and equipment should be combined into one group. You can do so just by clicking, dragging, and dropping. And now we have all of the machine and equipment topics lumped into our machine equipment group, which you can name whatever you'd like. You can also break down one group into multiple groups. So say, for example, you wanted to separate the locker group from men's and women's locker. You can do so again just by clicking, dragging, and dropping. And just like that, we've renamed and created a women's locker room. A lot of our clients, they already have a pre-established reporting structure that they want this system to closely match. In those cases, what we'll do is we'll actually select all of our groups and we'll delete them using this trash can icon. We'll then, with the help of our support team, we'll go into these search boxes and using regular expressions, we'll come up with some search terms to create these custom groups. So what this search is saying is looking for topics that either mention price or cost. And you'll search all topics You can select all, click drag and drop, and just like that, we created, call it our cost and price group, which contains 141 topics. At any point, if you want to see the actual verbatim, you just click the number to the right, and we still have that sentiment color coding applied. So at this point, you create some groupings that make sense for your data. You're then able to save it. So you did the upfront work, and you're not going to have to do this again. You have a similar survey down the road. You think this grouping makes sense for you. You can then save it and apply it as a taxonomy. And just to show you what this one looks like, you can see we get pretty in depth with creating these groupings. Another way our clients will share the data is with this export icon. And with this, we have a whole bunch of different formats in which we can export to. Some of the more common ones are Excel and Tableau. And we have a bunch of different ways in which we can choose to include or not include various tables and data. And to show you what an export to Excel looks like, here again, down at the bottom, we have all these different tabs and reports. So we have our topics tab, which will give all the topics, the total number of mentions, the sentiment, and the X-score. And we have a similar formatting with our expressions and X-score. We then have that TE hierarchy again. But the thing I want to point out that our clients find a lot of value in is this API data tab. And what this is it's a complete export of the entire data set. So we have every topic, every group, every expression, every extract, but we also have all of our closed ends included. So if you wanted to filter by a specific unique identifier, you can do so that way. Or a specific division, MPS score, dates. And we also include the verbatim with that sentiment color coding associated. So again, we showed you some of the more common visuals and canvases. We have a whole bunch of other ones. I will show you here real quickly how you can create one. And you can do so by clicking this add canvas here at the bottom left. Up here at the top, we'll add our first visual. And one of the visuals that our clients find a lot of value in is our ability to create custom crosstabs. And just to start off, you can see we have several different options to choose from. I'm going to choose our already custom built groups and topics. And then by clicking these visual properties in the top left of the visual, we can then customize what we want to show. I'll choose our X-score as well as our counts, and then what we want to banner it by. So any closed-end variable you can cross-tab by. I'll choose our region. And just like that, we have created a custom crosstab using our groups and topics that we defined and bannering it by our 5 regions here with the sentiment color coding associated. So real quickly here, I can see as it relates to the club and gym, the Northeast and Southeast are doing much worse than all the other regions. And we also, we have word clouds, various different things that some clients find value in, others don't. But again, these are all things that we can show you in greater detail with your own data at a time that makes sense for you. So I want to end and close by thanking everybody for your time. And please go to our website, goascribe.com, or reach out to me directly to schedule that demonstration using some of your own data. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.